Man, I had to hop on after that win, man. Like, I just had to hop on and talk about my Rockets, bro. Like, I'm not going to specifically talk about the game against the Suns. I'm just going to be talking about the Rockets in general. As you know, I'm a Rockets fan, and we've been struggling this month. In the month of February, we've been struggling a little bit, right? We started off January great. You know, we were 11-4. Coach Ime Udoka was Western Conference Coach of the Month. Amen Thompson was, Player of the Month, I believe, or Defensive Player of the Month, whatever it may be. He was that guy for us. Şengün was voted into the All-Star game. So things were going good. And, Amen Thompson, a few weeks back, he hit a game-winning shot over the Celtics against, one of the best defenders, Jaylen Brown, right? He had 33 points that game. Like, things were just clicking. But then after that Boston Celtics game, we just started losing. Like, we were going on a 6-game losing streak. And, that's not easy to see. Even if you are a fan, that's not easy for me. Imagine the players, man. You know what I mean? Like, before we won our game against the Raptors, we lost to the Grizzlies by 1 point. We lost to the Nets by 1 point. We lost to the Knicks by a few points. We lost to the Nets again by 2 points. Then against the Timberwolves. And then the Mavs. Right? Like, if you look at the Grizzlies game, right, in January, we should have won that game. 9 times out of 10, we're winning that game. And we should have won that. And then, the Nets, like, they're a rebuilding team. We should have won that. Then going into, going into New York, 124, 118, we should have won that. Like, there are no excuses. Amen Thompson put on a great performance in New York. Then the next day, and I get it, it was a back-to-back. But then it's against the Nets. And we lost by 2 points. Like, what the hell? I was thinking to myself, what the hell is this team doing? How the hell did we start off January so good, and then going into February, we're just completely ass? And there's a few, reasons for that. Fred VanVleet got injured. Now you're thinking, Fred doesn't really put up too much points. He doesn't really do anything for us. And, you're right. Fred has been shooting it abysmally from 3. He's been shooting it really, really bad from the mid-range. He can't drive. Like, every time he drives, he gets swatted. In my opinion, his defense has regressed. The only thing that's valuable about him is his, veteran leadership and his playmaking ability. We need Fred VanVleet's playmaking ability. Right? And, that's why we're struggling, because of his playmaking ability. Amen Thompson is not a point guard. Right? Yes, he can play make, but he's not a natural point guard. To me, he's more of a wing player. Right? And we've been getting lucky with Amen Thompson being his point guard because his handle is not really that great. Right? He just blows by people because he has really good strength. Right? And he's really fast for a 6'7" dude. But his handles are not that good. Not good for a guard. Right? He can play off as a wing, but not really good as a guard. Amen Thompson's not a guard for me. Right? But, that's where Fred has been able to kind of step in and, take over that, playmaking side. We need that playmaking ability that Fred has, right? He's also a veteran that's been to the finals or won a championship. He has multiple playoff experience. He's also an all-star. So we're lacking in that. And then number 2 is we are missing Jabari Smith. Now, he's an X factor for us, right? I think before Jabari got injured, he was shooting really, really well. He was averaging 12.6 points on 40% from 3. And you got to remember, Jabari is also a two-way player, right? Besides Şengün, we need a two-way player because Şengün's not really the best defender, right? So we need a two-way player beside Şengün, and that Jabari is that guy. His shot was starting to fall in before he got injured. His rebounding is also another factor that we need to take a look at, right? We're getting out-rebounded by teams without him, right? That's going to be a problem come playoff time because those second chance points means everything. Those defensive rebounds mean everything. If I can grab the rebound faster, I could go into catch a team on fast break points, right? We catch a team on a fast break. If we have to really catch them lacking, of course, but that's besides the point. Rebounds are very, very important. And I'm not saying we don't have guys that can't do that. Amen Thompson can do that really, really well. Şengün can do that really, really well. But having that extra guy doesn't hurt, right? It boosts. If not, it boosts our chances on winning. Jabari definitely does that. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really low on Jabari's skill because starting the season, he was costing us games more than he was winning us games. Like, he shot abysmally. He wasn't really locked in defensively. He wasn't really locked in general. 1 or 2 times he might have that odd, really good game, but he didn't start clicking in until January. That's when I felt like, oh damn, he's actually locked in now. He's focused. He's ready to go. And then what happens? He gets injured. I think he's fractured his wrist or something, but it's a hand injury. So, but I did see that he might come back. He's trying to make a comeback for after the All-Star break, which is pretty reasonable. He's trying to make a February 21st comeback, but we'll see how that goes. Another thing I want to touch upon is, Şengün's injured. Şengün was injured for a while too. That's our all-star. We need our all-star on the floor he's a difference maker, right? Without him, our offense just completely falls apart. I'm not even going to count Jalen in that conversation. Jalen, to me, I have given up on Jalen being a star at this point. He's very, very inconsistent. He's gotten better as a defender, but his shots falling sometimes, or sometimes his shots not falling. He takes way too many bad shots. Like, he is like a Peyton Pritchard to me. And you guys are probably thinking, what the hell? Peyton Pritchard? He plays nothing like Peyton Pritchard. The reason why I say Peyton Pritchard is because number one, he's very inconsistent. They're both very inconsistent, right? And these guys have the move. They have the bag, but they just don't have the IQ to know when to use that bag and when not to. And that's a problem right there. And this is year 4. Or year 5, right? Year 4. You're going into year 4. This is where things have to start clicking in. And you can't really use youth as a, excuse anymore. Like Udoka said, you can't use it as an excuse anymore. And that's a problem. You're one of our star players. You're supposed to be our duo, like one of our duo guys. We just paid you. And now taking it, it's not a big contract. It's 2 years, I think, plus a player option. So it's not really a big contract. So we might see Jalen on the trading block in the summer. We might be trying to star hunt. We'll see how that goes in the offseason. But Jalen's definitely out of here in the next 2 years. Like, he's out of here this offseason, if not deadline or next offseason. He's gone. I don't see him as a future Rocket. He's not part of the building block in Houston. Sengun, other hand, I think he's going to stay here, and he's going to be one of the building blocks. Amen Thompson, for sure, is going to be a building block. I would just hate to see him go. But anyways, moving back to the point. Those are the 3 reasons, or 2 reasons why I see the Rockets team having some, difficulty keeping up with their, win share, their ability to win. Another problem is during the deadline, we made 0 trades. 0 trades to bolster the roster. Meanwhile, everybody around us gotten stronger. Lakers just got Luka Doncic. The Mavs got 80, so they're going to be competitive. Right? Then the Warriors got Jimmy Butler. Like, the West just got stronger. Right? And we're trying to make a playoff push. We're not trying to make the finals or anything. We're just trying to get our young guys into that playoff groove. But we made no trades to bolster the roster. And sometimes I know making no moves is the best move. Playing the long game is the best game. But you got to understand that's not always the case in some scenarios. Like, we could have definitely gotten a backup point guard, right? As you can see, Fred VanVleet's injured. A backup point guard would be useful for us right now. A veteran backup point guard. Someone like a Dennis Schroeder. You're telling me we couldn't give up 2 first-round picks to go get Dennis Schroeder? That's what you're telling me? Come on, Raphael Stone. Right? And then a backup center. No offense to Steven Adams. He's just not healthy enough. Right? He plays some games. He doesn't play the other games. And that's going to be a problem. We could have gotten someone like Robert Williams. And I know Robert Williams is not the best answer because his health is not really the best either. But he's younger. He's, played under the Udoka system before. Udoka made him a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. That should say something. And you're probably saying at 6'9", he's a really, really small ball center. But his athleticism and hand-eye coordination and footwork make up for that lack in size. And we should have gotten Time Lord, in my opinion. But hey, we didn't end up making any moves. And another report that was seeing during the deadline was Kevin Durant. The Rockets might be in play for Kevin Durant. Now, I'm not saying, we should have gotten Kevin Durant. All I'm saying is, if the deal was right and their asking price was very low, we should have definitely done it. 100%. We should have definitely done it. If the asking price was low, we should have definitely done it. 100%. KD is worth taking a shot at. But if it was like a hefty price, obviously no, you wouldn't want to do that. Like, if they asked for Amen Thompson and like 3 first-round picks, I'm not going to do that. Which even then, like, yeah, that's a bad trade in my opinion for the Rockets. But if they're asking someone like Reed Shepherd, right, Cam Whitmore, and 2 first rounds, I'm giving up. I'm pulling the trigger on that personally. Personally, I'm pulling the trigger on that trade. But it didn't happen. Katie's still a Phoenix Suns player, and we'll see what happens in the offseason, right? But I at least think we should have done a small move to bolster our roster, because the West gotten stronger, man. And I thought, in the past off season, right? The reason why Rafael Stone kept Jock Londale, Aaron Holiday or whatever, and Jeff Green was because he was gonna trade them at the deadline. Because those are like filler contracts. Like, you could use them to go get someone, right? That's what I thought Rafael Stone was gonna do. But hey, didn't end up happening. We made no moves, and we'll just have to see if we're gonna be suffering from it or we're gonna be fine. And I'm pretty sure we'll make the playoffs. I have no shadow of a doubt that we'll make the playoffs, but we're not going to go too far. I see like a first round, or maybe if we're lucky, second round exit, which is fine. I just want my Rockets to be in the playoffs, period. Another problem that I see is Ime Udoka, man. Ime Udoka is a problem. This team needs 3-point shooting, right? We got a few 3-point shooters on the bench. We got a 3-point shooter. Our rookie is a 3-point shooter. Reed Shepherd's a 3-point shooter. He just needs reps. Udoka doesn't give him any playing time. And I get it. Our roster is stacked. We don't have any playing time to give, but you're telling me you can't give up 10 minutes a game, 10 to 15 minutes a game for a rookie? Like, Fred VanVleet doesn't need no 38 minutes per game. For Fred VanVleet, at least 26 minutes. I don't want to give him 38 minutes a game. Boy, are you crazy? And that's a problem too, because Fred is not the same guy he was in Toronto. This guy regressed so much. Like I said, regressed really, really a lot. We should be able to allocate some minutes for, the Rook. Because I do think he could be a future point guard of the Houston Rockets, or some type of rotational piece. But we need to find those minutes. We need to give him reps. We can't put him in the G League. He's way too good for the G League, in my opinion. He scored 59 points in the G League. When we put him in there. So we need to give more minutes for him. Another thing, right? Oh, sorry, not another thing, but sticking with the Ime Udoka slander. Not really slander, but it's just criticism. This dude does not play anyone, and this is in relation to Reed Shepherd. This dude does not play anyone that doesn't play defense. You could be a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. You could be shooting at a high clip, but if you don't play a lick of defense, he sits your ass down or he doesn't play you. And I get it. You're a very defensive-oriented coach. You want to see defense win championships. I get that. I get all that. But, bro, we need offense, too. And, much credit to him. We were third in defense. Now we're in fourth or fifth. But we were third in defense during the month of January, which is in credit to Udoka. I give him that. But I also got to give him criticism, bro. You can't come up on the podium after a game and be like, yeah, our defense was good. It's because our shots weren't falling in. Or, our guys were weren't aggressive enough. Yeah, they were. They're playing great defense, but you need to switch out. You can't have the same lineup. If the guys you're playing are not aggressive enough, you switch them for other guys and see how they do. If the starting lineup dudes ain't hitting shots, you switch them out. Why the hell are you keeping them in the game? And that's the thing that pisses me off because, if Jalen has a bad game, or Şengün is having a bad game, or if Reed's having a bad game, he would sub him out. But like Van Vliet could go 1 for 10, and this dude would not sub Van Vliet out. Dylan Brooks, same thing. And I love Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is a dog. I love Dylan. But like he could be having a bad game, and this dude would not sub him out. And I'm no Jalen lover. Like, I don't like Jalen's playing style. I just don't think he fits our team. I'm a Şengün guy. Şengün's my favorite player on the team. But, like, come on, man. Like, you're so stubborn, like, to the point where you remind me of Dwayne Casey and Nick Nurse. Like, dude, if it's not working, try a different game plan. I'm not no NBA coach. I'm going to say this. I'm not no NBA coach. Like, I'm a nobody. I'm just a dude that's talking on YouTube, trying to see where I go with this. So, don't take my opinion into account. Take it with a grain of salt. But Udoka really needs to sometimes switch lineups when it's not working. He really does need to do that. He can't be stubborn like this, man. And partly another reason is he should have went to the front office and be like, hey, go out and get me a veteran point guard. He should have said that. He should have done that. Because I do believe Ime Udoka, they do take Ime Udoka's, opinions into account, right? He is the head coach that's winning them the most games. But he didn't do that either. So I'm just trying to figure out what Ime's thing is. Right? All in all, I think he's a great coach. I think, he should win Coach of the Year. But apart from that, I think we look pretty good. Our young guys are balling again. We won against Toronto. That was an ugly win, but we needed that win. A win is a win, right? It helps guys focus back in, to buy back in, and mentally sharpen them for what's to come. Playoff is like in 2 months, right? So they can't afford to go on a losing streak like that. So it's good to have an ugly win, even if like I said, even if it's ugly, it's good to have a win, right? And then we won against the Suns, and I get it. The Suns don't have Booker, Beal, right? They only had Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant was giving us some problems. He is Kevin Durant. Y'all know who he is, right? He dropped like 37 points on us. Like, he was unguardable. Every time I seen Kevin Durant shoot the ball, it's like, bro, this is unfair. But we did a good job. Tari Eason was killing it. We need to give that guy more minutes too, man. Like this team is full of talent. It's just, I get it sometimes when, certain guys don't get into the game, get to check into the game, but Fred VanVleet doesn't need to be getting 38 minutes. That's all I'm going to say. Fred VanVleet doesn't need 38 minutes a game. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. Amen Thompson was killing it like always. Jalen Green, man, I'm going to make a video on that separately. I promise y'all. Like, I'm going to be ranting about Jalen Green. But that's it. That's all I gotta say. Good win to snap off the losing streak, and good win today. Tomorrow we're gonna beat the Golden State Warriors because they're ass. Like, they're ass. We shouldn't be losing to the Golden State Warriors. Hey, I know I made a Jimmy Butler video saying, I love Jimmy and all that, but like, I don't give a fuck. We're winning against Golden State. Fuck Golden State. Fuck Steph Curry. Fuck Draymond. Fuck that whole franchise. They're a bunch of bums over there in Golden State. I don't respect bums. Rockets are going to go handle business. We're going to beat the shit out of the fucking Warriors. Steve Kerr thinking like he the best coach in the NBA. He's fucking not the best coach in the NBA. So we're going to go handle business with the Warriors tomorrow, and I'll hop back on. Have a good one, y'all.